Just a few days are left for the CAT 2021 exam. In this phase, it's not only your good CAT preparation but also the CAT test taking strategy that will determine your final result. To get a more clear idea, Careers 360 interviewed Raviteja Mahavadi, an expert from Career Launcher. Let us check what Raviteja has to say about last minute preparation strategy for CAT 2021.
Hi guys, this is Ravi Teja from Career Launcher. With less than a week to go to CAT 2021, this is high time that we keep getting a lot of queries, may or may not be academic, but more driven towards the psychological part of it, how to probably, deal with the stress that comes out, the nervousness that students deal with at this particular moment. And our team here has put together a piece of questions that they have been receiving through various channels. And through this video, I'll try to answer few of those queries that right. Playing a CAT, taking a CAT exam is very similar to playing a World Cup match. So basically, please understand that if there is a team that has been consistently playing those 10-11 different players over the 2-3 years prep time before the World Cup, it doesn't make sense that they change their team or their composition just one tournament before the World Cup. Similarly, when it comes to an exam like that, if you have been preparing for 5-6 months and you have been using some certain kind of strategy and it has been working for you, it doesn't make sense that you change your strategy at the last moment. At least don't change your strategy before just one mock before probably going to the CAT exam. Whatever works for you, works for you. Whatever works for me, works for me. What works for me may not work for you. So please make sure that go through the previous 5-6 mocks that you have taken and see that which kind of strategy has worked the best for you. And I think that is what you need to keep in your mind even on the D-Day when you are going to take the paper. CAT is an exam in which you don't need to manage time. The timer is already there. That is section calls. How to manage time on the exam day? Outside the exam hall, I would want you to reach the exam hall at least 1 hour before the commencement of the exam. And keep ready all the documents 1 day before the exam day at least. That includes your admit card, that includes your ID proof, photo ID proof typically. That also includes your photograph that is there on your admit card that you have to affix either in front of the invigilator or you can already get it pasted and then go to the exam hall. You don't want to be in a position where on the day of the exam, you are looking for internet cafes or shops for taking a printout of admit card. So please keep your documents ready. If you are traveling to a different city for the exam, please make sure that you reach that other city on 27th itself, 1 day before the exam, and take a look at where the center is. Take a look at how the traffic is from wherever you are put up to that center and how much time you are going to take. During the exam, there may be instances where you start off with a wrong question or start off with a wrong question, especially when it comes to DILR, and you may be stuck in that particular question for like 4 to 5 minutes. It's not too late even then. Even after 4 to 5 minutes, you have wasted time on one particular question. You can leave that question and still think about 35 minutes that are left. Can you maximize your attempts and try solving 2.5-3 sets in the remaining 35 minutes is what you have to look at. So basically, it is a positive attitude that you need to keep handy for yourself, and that is what is going to work. And I'm no armchair expert sitting here and telling you random gyanbazi. This is exactly what has been working for me for the last 3-4 years. Let me tell you, last year CAT 2020, I took slot 2. The first set of DILR that I picked up was a set in which I spent 4 minutes and then realized that I'm not going to solve this correctly because I was not sure whether I'm going to get the correct answer over here. So what I did was I moved to a 6-question set. I saw there were 2 sets which had 6 questions. I just typically looked at both the sets and decided that एक question है जो मैं बनाऊं, and I probably spent some 12 odd minutes on that. And suddenly, when there were more than 20 minutes left, just more than 20 minutes left in the paper, I already had 18 minutes in my pocket, and that's the attitude that you need to carry during the exam. Ideally, you should have already already seen at least the last 4 years of papers. If you haven't seen them, I would still want you to look at least the quantitative ability section of CAT 2018, 19, and 20. The reason I am saying this is that the type of questions hasn't really changed in CAT 2018, 19, and 20. The areas that have been questioned or the type of questions have been a little bit repetitive in themselves. Typically, if you look at the papers, you will find that there are 10 to 12 questions that are common type of questions available in each slot and each year, and I would probably want you to look at those 10 to 12 questions, and those 10 to 12 questions, the concepts related to those 10 to 12 questions in the last 2 days starting from today, not in the last 2 days before the exam, and make sure that you know at least to pick those 10 to 12, you at least pick those 10 to 12 questions that will be there in the paper, that will at least help you to get a 90 plus percentile in that particular section. Frankly speaking, when you attempt a particular question, you attempt but only when you think that you are correct, right? There is no way you figure out during the paper, especially in a section like BARC, कि I am marking option B पर हो सकता है option C answer, ऐसा नहीं होता, right? The answer may be option C, but you have marked option B. You would mark option B because you would mark option B because you would be convinced that option B is the answer. So there's not much you can actually do to get rid of negative marks, especially in a section like BRC. Yes, in a section like Quant and DILR, see, don't rush through a particular question. In a question of Quant, if it takes you 2.5 minutes to solve that question, don't try to solve it within 2 minutes. You can solve a question in a particular time, and you will be solving the question in that particular time only. If you rush, it is then that you are going to make a mistake. If you take that extra 10 seconds or 20 seconds to get the correct answer and do that extra calculation, even using a calculator, and if you're sure that you're going to get 3 marks for that, then I think it's a no-brainer that you should actually spend that extra 20 seconds on that question. Don't rush through any questions, be it VARC, be it DILR, or even one. In VARC, typically you will operate, no matter how good you are at VARC, typically you will operate at an 85 to 90% accuracy, even in case you are very good at VARC, right? So you should always keep a buffer of 3 to 4 questions over your target score when you are attempting questions in VARC. I am a firm believer that there exists no strategy. Basically, I believe that the strategy works for only the people who know how to solve the question, right? Even in DILR or even in Quant, if you know how to solve this question, only then will you be able to know whether this question can be done in 10 minutes or whether this set will take 15 minutes. And then according to that, you will take the question. So I am a person who looks at the question that is in front of our screen. If that question, I can solve that question within, let us say, the stipulated time limit that I have fixed for myself, right? Everyone will have their own comfort zone. Everyone will have their own requirement of time to solve a particular question. So if I feel that this particular passage should have been attempted in 10 minutes, I will probably attempt it in 10 minutes only. It doesn't make sense that, I know this set in DILR, I know this particular set, but I will look at some other set and come back to this set. That only means that you have read that set, that you are going to read this first set twice, wasting probably 2 to 3 minutes of your precious time in the paper. Don't do that. Look at the question in front of your screen. You know it, you solve it. You don't know it, you leave it. That's it. The other point is, you know it, but you have to ask yourself whether you want to solve it or you don't want to solve it. You don't want to solve it. When do you not want to solve it? When you know that this question is going to take time. You may know how to solve it, but you still know that it is going to take time. It's a call that you have to take whether or not you want to solve that particular question at that particular time. I would say revise your concepts of quantitative ability. Revise, get to a rhythm of reading. When I say revise your for concepts, I essentially mean revise your formulae for quantitative ability. Those type of questions which can be directly solved using formula without a lot of logic to be cracked in that particular question. At least those kind of questions, sitters in the paper, you should be able to do very, very well, and revise those things. what you can do for the next 2 days, probably till Friday also, is that you can go through the last 3-4 mocks that you have taken, be it anyone's mocks. You would have taken a mock with Career Launcher or with any other player in the market for that matter. Make sure that you go through the mistakes that you have done in the last 3-4 months. And please understand, when I say mistakes, I am not pointing out towards the topics that you don't know. Topics that you knowingly committed mistakes, make sure that you don't commit those kind of mistakes if that kind of question appears in that. But if I were you, in quantitative ability, I will probably only revise the different types of questions in algebra and a little bit of arithmetic. So algebra, because you will see that every year there will be a functions based question, every year there will be a logarithm based question, every year there will be a modulus based question. What are the different 2-3 types of questions that have been asked? Probably revise how to draw the graphs and stuff. That is all you need to do. If you want to solve a lot of questions also, I would suggest refrain from solving a lot of questions. Probably solve 10 to 15 questions a day of quant or 1 or 2 sets of DILR, and read 1 or 2 passages of BIRs. You don't answer questions. Just get to the rhythm of reading. You don't want to give up the rhythm of reading just a week before exam. But I don't think you should do anything new in the last 5 days before that. You should probably focus mainly on what are your weaknesses and what you want to leave in the exam, because CAT is an exam in which you need to decide kya question nahi karna hai. The moment you have that clarity, you will have to solve the remaining questions and you will do good. It depends on your accuracy level. Actually, not everybody operates at the same accuracy level. In VRC, if your accuracy lies in between, let us say 60 to 75%, right? Then for a net score of 40 marks, you should attempt no less than 18 to 19 questions. Typically, and if your accuracy ranges in VRC is 80 to 90%, then you should try to attempt at least 16 to 17 questions to probably get to that net score of 40. Similarly, in DILR, if you solve 12 questions, there's a high chance you get 11 correct and at least 1 wrong, right? Let us embrace this fact that all of us make mistakes. And this is very important, that you embrace your weaknesses. See, there will be mistakes. You will make mistakes, right? I don't want you to, but at the end of the day, you will typically realize that probably in all the mocks you have taken, there will be at least 1 or 2 questions that you will realize after the paper that I committed a very silly mistake and I could have avoided. But trust me, I have been taking CAT for the last 4-5 years and consistently scoring very good percentiles in CAT. However, I also end up making mistakes every year. Not that I go to the exam with a lot of pressure. I go to the exam with an attitude of nothing to lose. My MBA is already done. Even then, I feel that kind of nervousness in the paper and I still make some mistakes. So it is, almost a given that you will commit a few mistakes. Don't worry about those mistakes. Buffer for that mistake. So basically, if you're targeting a score of 30 marks in DILR, make sure you attempt 12 questions. Yeah, is so that even if you get 11 correct and 1 wrong or 10 correct and 2 wrong, you'll still get around 28 to 32 marks. That is the range that you will operate in. Similarly, in quant, if you are looking at 40-45 marks, then you should attempt some 17-18 questions is what